Hello, my fellow horse lovers. Hey, it's Wednesday in the arena with Dr. Pamela. Welcome to my private arena. So it's another little breezy day here in the North Country, thus the hood, but at least we're not in the lean-to with the flies like last week. So today I want to talk to you about something that's been really present with me and the horses this last week, and it's around stress. And I find that a lot of people just don't really think about it, but emotional stress can cause physical symptoms in our horses, and not just our horses, and people and other animals too. And so today I have probably 5 or 6 things, because I always add extras as I go along, of symptoms, like physical symptoms that are probably coming from emotional stress in our horses. And we always want to address the physical, right? Because that's what we see and that's what we know. But if we want to fix the physical, we have to peel off the layers and address the emotional too. So the first thing that I see in horses that is usually a physical symptom from emotional stress is fatigue or depression, right? And we just think that, oh, the horse is lazy and doesn't want to go forward, so we smack them with the whip a little more, put on some spurs, right? And we don't ever ask what's the underlying issue, or maybe my horse is just having a bad hair day. Like, do you ever have a bad hair day, right? Sometimes they just don't want to go forward. And maybe there's something else going on. And there's the complete opposite of that too, in that they might be like having too much energy. Right? That's where we see the anxious, nervous horse, that we see them really jumpy or bolting. And so all of these are really from emotional imbalances, right? And when we get the horse balanced, then these physical symptoms tend to usually go away on their own. And the second main thing that I see is lameness issues, right? And I often see that when they're stemming from, emotional stuff, it's what happens is emotional stress causes body pain in the horse, right? And so that'll show up as a physical symptom, as a lameness, but then it's like this weird lameness that one day the horse is fine, the next day the horse is off, it comes and goes, and it kind of goes off and on undiagnosed, that it's not exactly pinpointed, right? We don't know exactly where this is, so we just give them some bute, right? Give them some bute on the days they're off, and we never address the root cause, which is usually the emotional stress that's being lodged in the nervous system somewhere in their body. And when we can release, right, that, then those physical symptoms of pain and lameness can go away. And the third thing I see is often digestive issues. And something we also don't think about is when the microbiome in the gut isn't balanced and the horse is having digestive issues, that's related to the immune system as well. So we see these physical symptoms and we treat the symptoms, right? Like maybe diarrhea can be a symptom, or, the horse is acting like it has a sour stomach, and so, or we get them scoped and we treat them for ulcers, right? But we're not addressing the emotional stress that is causing the digestive issues, right? So, and as a result of the digestive issues, we'll often see weight loss. A lot of times from imbalanced stuff, we find that there's a weight gain, right? So then we starve the horse, right? Only give them 2 flakes in the morning and 2 flakes at night. Well, then the horse becomes stressed around that, right? horses are really good at living in the present moment. And in the present moment, if they don't have food, then they're going to be like stressing, which creates the stress chemicals in the body, which just like leaches down into the other issues with the horse. So when they, it's a big deal. They worry about when's my next meal going to come because I don't have any food in front of me, and they're used to being grazers and being able to free feed whenever they want. And, they start to worry about, oh, is she going to put that saddle on me that's pinching me again? They get stressed from going to horse shows, long trailer rides. If we don't always think about what that's like for them. I'm curious, have any of you ever ridden in the back of a horse trailer? I want you to put yes or no in the comments below if you have ever ridden in a horse trailer, with or without horses, because either way, it is not fun to ride in the back of there. And all of this stuff can lead to these emotional stressors, like turnout with their buddies. Are they all getting along, or is there one horse beating the crap out of your horse? That can be a stressor. The separation anxiety, all these things add up to these physical symptoms, right? And then we end up having behavioral problems. And then we're like, oh, she's just being a bitch today, or he's being naughty, and so we're going to lunge him longer and lunge him harder, or do this or do that, or, oh, they need magnesium, right? My horse is crazy, so it just needs magnesium. I'm hearing that a lot lately. Magnesium is the buzzword. But the reality is it's not just like, oh, we're being naughty today, that there's layers. I always tell my clients it's like peeling off the layers of an onion, right? And it takes a while. There's a lot of layers on that onion to get to the root cause of everything. But I find probably 80% of the time, if it's not a chemical detoxification issue, it is usually an emotional issue. So that is my, I lost track. 5, 6 symptoms, physical symptoms of an emotionally stressed horse. And I find it interesting. There is some research out now that they have on some facial expression studies with the horses. They're doing some research that they've studied the facial expressions. They're trying to come up with a scale. I don't know that it's super concrete yet, but they're at least having more awareness around, right, that animals and horses, they have expressions, they have emotions, and they're starting to study it and have a little better understanding. Personally, I don't need a research study with a scale to read my horse's facial expressions, and know what they mean, because I just know them so well. But it is interesting to me that the scientific community is now bringing more awareness around this in the last couple years, and it'll be interesting when they get it more concrete, what they come up with, right? So that's it for today. Again, I'm really curious if any of you have ridden in a horse trailer. Comment yes or no if you've ridden in a horse trailer. And until next week, this is Dr. Pamela in the arena, and we will see you next Wednesday.